Aliens wanted support. Humans delivered shock and awe. The Galactic Union, a network of alien species that had ruled peace for centuries, suddenly faced a threat it had never imagined. An unknown war swarm, made of millions of fast and deadly ships, appeared from the outer rim. It moved like a shadow across the stars, consuming everything in its path. Colonies vanished, communication lines were cut, and entire fleets disappeared before anyone could respond. Panic spread quickly through the council chambers of the Union. Commander Zelara of the Zureth fleet looked out at the viewscreen, her many eyes blinking rapidly. "We cannot stop them," she whispered. Her voice trembled, not from fear but from frustration. The swarm was unlike anything their records had ever seen. It was intelligent, fast, and completely merciless. Every tactic the Union had developed over centuries failed instantly. Planets that should have held out for weeks fell in days. In the alien capital, Counselor Thin and General Corey argued fiercely. Thin wanted to retreat, to consolidate forces on the inner worlds. Corey demanded a counterattack, saying, "If we do not fight now, the swarm will erase everything. Even our greatest defenses cannot hold forever, but we must strike." Their debate was heated, and neither listened to the other. The fleet stood ready, but no one had any hope. They were waiting for a miracle. A message came through the Council's secure channel. It was short, formal, and full of hesitation. The aliens on the far side of the galaxy, the Zenari, were asking for human assistance. Humans. They were supposed to be a minor species, barely advanced enough to leave their planet in large numbers. Alien commanders did not expect humans to make a difference. Sending humans seemed like a desperate gamble, but the swarm was unstoppable. It was the only choice left. On Earth, the message arrived quietly at the United Earth Defense Council. Ethan Cole, a sharp and disciplined human officer, was the first to read it. He leaned back in his chair, frowning. Beside him, Laura Benson, head of strategy, studied the alien data with narrowed eyes. "They want humans to fight," she said slowly. "This is unexpected. We have not been in galactic conflicts before. They are asking us to risk everything." Ethan looked out the window at the city below. Skyscrapers glittered with evening lights. Children played in parks. The human world seemed small compared to the vastness of space, yet humans had survived wars on their own planet, had built machines and weapons that no alien could fully predict. Ethan knew their instinct was not to run, but to face danger. "They are dying," he said. "If we do not act, billions will be lost. Humans do not leave people to die if we can help." Laura nodded. "Preparing ships for interstellar travel at this scale will take time. Our fleets are advanced, but nothing like what these aliens have. Still, humans are unpredictable. We can be faster, smarter, and more adaptive than anything the swarm expects." She paused, looking at the holographic map of the galaxy. Systems burned red, marking worlds already lost. "We have to try. Even if the aliens only expect us to be a small help, we can do more. We always do more." Within days, Earth's fleet began mobilization. Massive ships lifted from dry docks, engines glowing bright blue. Soldiers trained in zero-gravity combat, learned alien technology, and studied the swarm's movements. Ethan oversaw the preparations, making sure every crew member understood the mission. Human pilots like Nathan Brooks and commanders like Lisa Morgan practiced maneuvers that no alien had ever tried. While the aliens relied on strict formations and predictable strategies, humans worked in teams that could improvise, change tactics in seconds, and strike where enemies did not expect. Alien observers watched with disbelief as humans prepared. They expected chaos, mistakes, and failure. Instead, they saw organization, speed, and calm determination. Ships moved with purpose, crews communicated with precision, and every system tested and double-checked. Alien commanders whispered among themselves, unsure if this species was dangerous or insane. Meanwhile, in quiet briefing rooms, Ethan and Laura studied the alien intelligence reports. The swarm's patterns were almost too fast to comprehend. It did not retreat. It did not negotiate. It consumed. Each attack was more destructive than the last. The humans had to learn its weaknesses without losing time. "We cannot fight the swarm like they fight," Laura said. "We have to be unpredictable, use our minds as weapons, not just our guns." Ethan agreed. He gathered his top officers in a small room aboard the flagship. Nathan, Lisa, and a handful of other commanders listened carefully. Ethan traced the swarm's movements on the holographic map. "The aliens have tried everything," he said. "Attacks, shields, decoys. The swarm adapts, but it does not anticipate creativity. We will strike where it cannot expect. We will move fast, hit hard, and never hesitate. Humans are not just joining this war. We are changing it." The first human ships left Earth quietly. Civilian worlds did not even notice the departure. Fleets jumped into hyperdrive, traveling light years in a matter of hours. The alien command watched as humans entered the war zone, and confusion spread through their ranks. They expected small craft, maybe a few support teams. Instead, massive ships appeared in perfect formation, cutting through enemy patrols with precision. Ethan Cole's voice came over the communications link to the alien fleet. "We are here to help. Stand back if you can." The aliens did not know whether to be relieved or terrified. These humans did not behave like any species they had encountered. They did not wait for orders. They did not hesitate. When a scouting drone approached, a human pilot intercepted it, disabled it, and returned with the drone intact for study, all without firing a lethal shot. The aliens had never seen such efficiency and control. On one battered planet, Ethan and Laura watched as signals from the swarm flooded the space around them. Millions of enemy ships moved like a tide, threatening to engulf everything. Humans did not retreat. Ethan activated the first wave of coordinated strikes. Nathan Brooks led fighter teams through the swarm's formation, using speed and unexpected maneuvers to disrupt enemy units. Lisa Morgan coordinated larger ships, breaking enemy shields with precision pulses. The swarm was thrown into chaos. For the first time, alien allies saw the enemy falter. Back on the alien capital, Commander Zelara could hardly believe what she saw. Entire enemy wings vanished within minutes, their ships disabled or destroyed without the humans firing mass destruction. Humans were not only fighting, they were redefining what war meant. She whispered, "These humans, they are something else." Counselor Thin nodded silently, fear and awe mixing in his expression. Humanity had arrived, but it was more than support. It was a force the galaxy had never seen before. On the human fleet, Ethan smiled at the results. The mission had begun, and already humans were exceeding every expectation. Laura stood beside him, eyes bright with excitement and concern. "We have only begun," she said. "This is not the end. The swarm will adapt. We must stay faster, smarter, stronger. Humans do not just survive. We excel." Ethan nodded. The galaxy was dangerous, the swarm deadly, but humanity was ready. The moment had arrived for humans to show what they were capable of, and the aliens who called for help had no idea what they had unleashed. And in that quiet moment before the first real battle, as the stars stretched endlessly around them, Ethan thought of Earth, of the people they left behind, and of the millions of lives at stake across the galaxy. He whispered to himself, "We will protect them, no matter the cost." The fleet surged forward, lights gleaming, weapons ready, minds sharp and hearts unshakable. Humanity had entered the war. Nothing would ever be the same. The human fleet moved like a shadow across the stars, silent but impossible to ignore. Alien scouts watched nervously as the ships approached the battle zone. They were massive, far larger than any species expected from humans. Alien officers exchanged worried glances. The humans did not behave like other species they had fought alongside or against. There was no hesitation, no fear, only calm precision. Captain Nathan Brooks stood on the bridge of his command ship, eyes scanning the holographic display. "We are entering the first combat zone," he said quietly. His voice carried calm confidence. Beside him, Commander Lisa Morgan checked coordinates and communication links. "Remember," she said, "we are not just supporting, we are changing the battle. Follow the plan, adapt quickly, and never underestimate the swarm." As human ships entered the swarm's territory, enemy forces reacted immediately. Millions of small, fast ships rushed to intercept. Alien commanders expected panic, but humans remained steady. Fighter teams led by Nathan and Lisa darted through the swarm, avoiding fire with astonishing speed. Their weapons were precise, disabling enemy ships without wasting energy. Alien observers could not understand. They had never seen such efficiency. Humans moved unpredictably, striking weak points that the swarm had not protected. Shields collapsed in seconds, entire formations disintegrated, and enemy signals became chaotic. One alien officer, Commander Zelara, whispered in disbelief, "They are not just fighting, they are rewriting the rules of combat." In one sector, human strike teams targeted a critical swarm relay. This relay controlled communication between enemy ships. Ethan Cole coordinated the operation from the flagship. He studied the swarm's patterns carefully, predicting every move. "We hit the relay now," he ordered. Within moments, small human fighters weaved through enemy fire, delivering precise charges that disabled the relay. Immediately, the swarm's coordination faltered. Ships collided, signals were lost, and panic spread through the enemy lines. The aliens who called for help watched silently. They expected humans to act cautiously, perhaps to observe and support. Instead, humans attacked directly. Laura Benson explained strategy to the Alien Council over a secure link. "We are fast, adaptive, and focused. Hesitation is weakness. Humans fight hardest when the stakes are highest." The aliens could not argue. They had never seen a species that could act so decisively. While the fleet pressed forward, Nathan led a squadron deep into enemy territory. His team moved like shadows, striking supply lines and intercepting reinforcements. Every maneuver was calculated, but human pilots remained flexible. When a new enemy formation appeared unexpectedly, Nathan adjusted instantly, splitting his forces to surround the swarm. The alien allies gasped. No one had ever seen this level of adaptability. Meanwhile, Commander Lisa Morgan coordinated the larger ships. She directed heavy weapons with unmatched precision, targeting enemy capital ships and defense stations. Each strike was measured, eliminating threats without unnecessary destruction. Alien officers began to whisper among themselves. "Humans do not waste force," one said. "They destroy only what must fall, but nothing can stop them." In one surprising moment, a massive swarm carrier appeared, its shields glowing like molten metal. Alien fleets hesitated, unsure how to engage. Ethan Cole studied the situation and smiled slightly. He knew humans did not need brute force to succeed. He issued a calm order: draw it out, isolate it, then disable the engines. Human fighters darted around the carrier, confusing its weapons. Smaller ships disrupted shield generators, while heavier vessels fired targeted pulses. Within minutes, the carrier was dead in space, floating silently as its crew scrambled in vain. Alien commanders struggled to keep pace. They tried to coordinate with humans, but the human fleet operated almost as an independent force. Ethan, Laura, Nathan, and Lisa made decisions in seconds, reacting to threats before they fully appeared. Every action was unpredictable, and every success further unnerved the alien allies. One counselor, Thin, admitted quietly, "We have underestimated them. These humans, they are beyond anything we imagined." The humans did not stop. They moved from system to system, clearing enemy positions faster than any alien fleet could manage. Civilians on threatened worlds watched in awe as massive human ships appeared suddenly, striking and then vanishing almost as quickly. The swarm tried to adapt, but humans were always one step ahead. The pattern of human attacks was strange, creative, and devastating. The enemy could not anticipate what would happen next. On a distant moon, Ethan Cole observed the aftermath of a recent battle. Debris floated in the thin atmosphere, evidence of the humans' precision strikes. He spoke quietly to Laura. "This is only the beginning. They cannot see what humans are capable of yet. We must stay ready and we must push further." Laura nodded. "Every time we act, the swarm learns nothing. Humans do not fight like any species before. They are unpredictable, and that is their strength." Nathan Brooks and his squadron encountered a group of enemy ships trying to flank human forces. Instead of retreating, Nathan split his team into smaller units, each striking from different directions. The enemy became confused, attacking their own ships by mistake. Human fighters disabled critical systems and retreated before the enemy could react. Alien observers could hardly comprehend the method. Humans had no fear of loss. They acted like the threat was an opportunity to show skill, not a danger. As the fleet continued, humans encountered another challenge. The swarm had begun adapting, creating new ship formations and defensive patterns. Alien allies struggled to understand the changes. Ethan studied the enemy carefully. "Adaptation is part of strategy," he said. "But we can still anticipate behavior. Humans will improvise and create openings." Nathan and Lisa executed complex maneuvers, using the swarm's changes against itself. Enemy ships fell one by one, and humans advanced without hesitation. Back on the alien capital, counselors and commanders gathered to discuss what they had witnessed. Commander Zellara could hardly speak. "We asked for support," she said. "We did not expect this." Thin nodded. "Humans are not just helping. They are teaching the galaxy a lesson. They are changing the way war is fought." Fear and awe filled the room. No species had ever acted with such control, creativity, and deadly precision. While human forces pressed their advantage, civilians on threatened planets experienced both fear and hope. Reports spread of massive ships appearing suddenly, saving colonies from destruction. Ethan Cole ensured that human strikes minimized civilian casualties. "We are not here to conquer," he reminded his officers. "We are here to protect. We strike the swarm, not the people." This principle guided every decision, earning admiration from alien worlds. Nathan Brooks led a daring raid deep into enemy territory to capture information on the swarm's command network. His team moved silently, disabling guards and drones, collecting critical intelligence. The mission was risky, but humans excelled where others would fail. The swarm's network was exposed, and human engineers quickly used the information to plan further attacks. The aliens watching were stunned. Humans were not reckless. They were efficient, adaptable, and always thinking several steps ahead. At the end of the first week of human involvement, the results were clear. Systems once thought doomed were secured. The swarm had been slowed, its leaders disrupted, and alien allies had begun to regain confidence. Ethan Cole addressed the human fleet. "We have shown them what humans can do," he said. "This is only the beginning. We will continue to protect, to fight, and to adapt. The galaxy must learn that humans are not just another species. We are a force no one can ignore." Alien leaders whispered among themselves, some afraid, some inspired. The humans had not only entered the war, they had changed it. Their strategies were unlike anything the galaxy had seen. Their courage was unmatched, and their presence had turned despair into hope for countless species. Commander Zellara finally admitted, "We cannot imagine how far humans can go. We only know we must follow them if we hope to survive." And so, the human fleet moved forward, each ship a symbol of determination and power. Ethan Cole, Laura Benson, Nathan Brooks, and Lisa Morgan led the charge, showing the galaxy what humanity could do when faced with impossible odds. The swarm may have been terrifying, but humans were relentless. With speed, creativity, and courage, they brought hope to the desperate and fear to the enemy. The galaxy had never seen anything like it, and it would not forget the humans pressed deeper into enemy space, moving like a storm the galaxy had never seen. Alien fleets watched in disbelief as humans advanced without fear. Captain Nathan Brooks led the front line, piloting his fighter with precision. Every move was deliberate, every strike calculated. Behind him, human ships of all sizes followed seamlessly, adapting instantly to changing enemy patterns. Commander Lisa Morgan coordinated the larger vessels, directing firepower with clarity and speed. Human weapons struck critical points, disabling enemy ships before they could react. Alien observers could not understand the precision. Ships fell in seconds, yet the humans rarely used full force, conserving energy and resources for the battles ahead. One alien officer whispered, "They fight with control we cannot comprehend. They are not reckless. They are perfect." Ethan Cole studied the swarm's formations. The enemy was beginning to change tactics, but humans were faster. Ethan issued orders calmly, sending strike teams to exploit openings. Fighter squads led by Nathan darted between enemy ships, causing chaos and confusion. Enemy formations collapsed under human attacks, and alien allies began to see hope for the first time. The humans did not only attack, they protected civilians, rescued ships that had been trapped, and provided guidance to alien forces struggling to respond. Laura Benson oversaw these operations, ensuring humans acted with discipline and care. "We strike the enemy," she reminded her team. "We protect the innocent. That is how humans fight." The aliens watched silently, realizing this species fought not only to win but to save lives. In one daring operation, Nathan led a small squadron into a heavily defended sector where the swarm had trapped dozens of civilian transports. Human fighters weaved through enemy fire, disabling attack drones and clearing paths. The transports escaped, their crews cheering at the unexpected rescue. Alien commanders could not believe what they had seen. Humans risked themselves to save others, yet still neutralized the enemy efficiently. Meanwhile, Ethan Cole and Laura Benson studied patterns in the swarm's behavior. The enemy had intelligence and adaptability, but humans learned faster. They predicted enemy movements, adapted to new defenses, and struck in ways no species had considered. The swarm was clever, but humans were cleverer. Laura pointed to a map showing enemy clusters. "We hit here," she said, "and here simultaneously. The swarm will not know which to defend first." Ethan nodded. The plan was risky, but humans thrived on risk. As human attacks intensified, alien allies began to change. Fear turned into trust, hesitation into cooperation. Alien fleets followed human strategies, learning from their tactics. Ethan and Laura coordinated with alien commanders, but humans rarely waited for approval. Their decisions were immediate, effective, and decisive. One alien general admitted quietly, "We asked for help, but they lead the battle. We are witnessing a force unlike any we imagined." The enemy swarm, sensing the humans' effectiveness, tried new strategies. They created decoy fleets, deployed faster ships, and concentrated firepower on human vessels. Yet humans adapted instantly. Nathan split his squadron to intercept the decoys, while larger ships targeted the main forces. Lisa Morgan redirected energy to shields when enemy fire intensified. Within minutes, the decoys were neutralized and the main swarm line was broken. Alien observers gasped. Humans were unpredictable, relentless, and precise. In one critical moment, the swarm targeted a human transport carrying engineers and supplies. Ethan saw the threat immediately and redirected a squadron led by Nathan to intercept. Human fighters arrived in seconds, creating a barrier between the transport and the swarm. The enemy attacked fiercely, but human coordination was flawless. The transport escaped unharmed while enemy ships were disabled or forced to retreat. Alien fleets began to whisper among themselves. Humans fight differently. They do not panic. They do not hesitate. They always succeed. Laura Benson oversaw repairs and resupply, ensuring humans could continue their operations without delay. Every system was checked, every weapon optimized. Humans moved with efficiency, preparing for the next strike almost as soon as the previous battle ended. Alien commanders could not understand the speed and discipline. Humans seemed limitless in their capacity to act, to fight, and to adapt. Ethan Cole gathered his top officers for a strategic briefing. He pointed to clusters of enemy ships attempting to regroup. "We will hit them here, here, and here," he said. "We move fast, strike hard, and do not wait for permission. The swarm will break under pressure. Our allies will follow, and we will reclaim these systems." Nathan Brooks studied the plan and nodded. Lisa Morgan added, "We will also protect civilians and trapped fleets. Humans fight to save lives, not just destroy the enemy." The humans executed the plan flawlessly. Strike teams moved in multiple directions, attacking enemy ships simultaneously. Human fighters outmaneuvered faster swarm ships, disabling engines and weapons with precision strikes. Large human vessels fired concentrated energy pulses, breaking enemy shields. The swarm could not respond effectively, and alien observers were stunned at the speed and efficiency. In a daring maneuver, Nathan led a squadron directly into the swarm's command center. The enemy concentrated fire on them, expecting destruction. Yet humans anticipated every move. They split into smaller units, attacking critical nodes and disabling communication lines. The command center collapsed, and the swarm's coordination failed completely. Alien commanders could not believe it. The humans had destroyed the heart of the enemy in minutes. Ethan Cole watched the results on the holographic display. Systems previously lost were now free. Civilian colonies were saved, and alien fleets began to regain confidence. Humans had not only defeated enemy forces but also shown alien allies how to act with decisiveness and courage. Laura Benson smiled. "This is only the beginning. Humans fight differently, and the galaxy will remember this day." Alien leaders whispered among themselves. Counselor Thin admitted, "We asked for help, but they have changed the battle. Humans do not just support, they dominate. They are teaching us what war can be." Commander Zelara added quietly, "We cannot hope to match them. We can only follow and learn." Fear and awe mixed in the council chamber. Humans were not just another species. They were a force unlike any other. Meanwhile, Nathan Brooks and his squadron continued operations, clearing remaining enemy pockets. They rescued trapped civilians, disabled dangerous ships, and created new openings for larger human vessels. Lisa Morgan coordinated from the flagship, directing firepower and shields with perfect timing. The humans moved like a single organism, every member aware of their role, every action synchronized. Alien fleets followed, learning from every move. Ethan Cole reflected on the human fleet's achievements. They had moved faster than any enemy expected, adapted to changing conditions, protected civilians, and demonstrated unparalleled skill. Humans were not reckless warriors. They were disciplined, intelligent, and relentless. The swarm had underestimated them, and now the galaxy saw what humans were capable of. As night fell across distant planets, alien worlds looked to the humans with hope. Humans had arrived quietly, without fanfare, and yet their actions spoke louder than any message. They had not only defeated enemy forces, they had changed the perception of what a species could do in war. Ethan Cole knew the mission was far from over. The swarm still existed, and humans would need to continue striking, adapting, and leading. But for the first time, the galaxy had hope. Nathan Brooks, watching the stars from his cockpit, whispered to his team, "We are just getting started. The swarm will learn soon enough that humans do not fight like any other species. We are unstoppable when we act together. Lisa Morgan smiled over the communication link. And we will keep moving, striking, and protecting. Humans fight to survive and to save others. That is our strength. Alien observers could only watch, stunned and silent. Humans were unpredictable, efficient, and deadly, yet always controlled. They acted with courage and intelligence, saving lives while defeating the enemy. The galaxy had never seen a species like this. The humans had not only joined the war, they had changed it forever. And so, as the human fleet advanced, the swarm retreated, reorganized, and struggled to understand what had happened. Humans had demonstrated shock and awe, not through sheer numbers alone, but through skill, strategy, and the determination to protect others. The galaxy learned a lesson that day. Humans were not just warriors. They were a force that could not be ignored, and their presence would forever alter the balance of power. The human fleet continued moving through enemy territory, leaving chaos in its wake. Alien allies followed cautiously, still learning from the humans' unpredictable methods. Captain Nathan Brooks led the front lines, guiding his fighters through dangerous regions where the swarm still held strong. Each move was calculated, every strike precise. Humans had not only won battles, they had changed the galaxy's understanding of warfare. Commander Lisa Morgan coordinated the larger vessels, directing shields and weapons with precision. Enemy forces tried to regroup, forming massive clusters to defend key sectors. Yet human fighters struck from unexpected angles, breaking formations before the enemy could react. Alien commanders could only watch, realizing that humans did not fight like any species they knew. Ethan Cole studied the enemy patterns, analyzing weaknesses and predicting moves. He issued orders calmly, moving human squads where they were needed most. Laura Benson oversaw rescue and support operations, ensuring civilians and allied ships were protected. Humans fight to save lives as much as to defeat the enemy, she said. Alien leaders began to understand that humans were not reckless. They were strategic, disciplined, and adaptive. In one critical sector, a group of swarm ships attempted a final, desperate attack on a civilian transport hub. Nathan Brooks and his squadron intercepted immediately. Human fighters darted between enemy ships, disabling weapons and engines. The enemy attempted to concentrate fire, but humans were always faster. Within minutes, the threat was neutralized and the transport hub remained safe. Alien fleets whispered in awe. Humans did not hesitate. Humans did not fail. Humans adapted instantly. Meanwhile, Ethan Cole planned the next major strike. The swarm's command network had been weakened, but enemy leaders were trying to coordinate new attacks. Humans struck first, targeting critical nodes and disrupting communication. Nathan led daring raids into the heart of enemy territory, disabling shipyards and supply centers. Lisa Morgan directed larger vessels to focus energy on key objectives. Alien observers were stunned. The human speed and precision were unmatched. In one daring operation, a massive swarm carrier tried to escape through a dense asteroid field. Nathan's squadron pursued, using the asteroids for cover while avoiding enemy fire. Human fighters disabled shields, engines, and weapons in a series of quick strikes. The carrier was destroyed before it could regroup. Alien commanders whispered among themselves. They had seen great fleets destroyed before, but humans accomplished it with elegance, intelligence, and almost no losses. Ethan Cole watched the battlefield carefully. The humans' effectiveness was growing, and alien allies were starting to trust their leadership. Ethan spoke over communications, directing squads and coordinating strikes. Every move was precise, every decision thoughtful. Laura Benson ensured support ships were in place, ready to provide aid, repair, or rescue. Humans moved with speed and discipline, a force the galaxy had never experienced. While humans advanced, the swarm tried new tactics. They deployed decoy fleets, concentrated firepower, and attempted ambushes. Humans adapted instantly. Nathan split his squadron to intercept decoys while heavier ships struck main forces. Lisa Morgan redirected energy to shields when needed, protecting key vessels. Alien allies began to follow human strategies, learning from their moves. Fear was turning into hope. In one tense moment, the swarm targeted a human transport carrying engineers and supplies. Ethan quickly redirected a squadron to intercept. Human fighters created a protective barrier around the transport, neutralizing enemy fire and ensuring safe passage. Alien fleets watched silently. Humans risked themselves to protect others, yet neutralized the enemy with efficiency. One counselor admitted quietly, "These humans do not fight like any species we know. They are unstoppable." Laura Benson oversaw repairs and resupply, making sure humans could continue fighting without delay. Every system was checked, every weapon optimized. Humans prepared for the next strike almost as soon as the previous battle ended. Alien fleets marveled at the speed, discipline, and efficiency. Humans seemed limitless in capacity to act, fight, and protect. Ethan Cole gathered his top officers for a briefing. He pointed to enemy clusters trying to regroup. "We hit these sectors simultaneously," he said. "We move fast, strike hard, and do not wait. The swarm will break under pressure. Our allies will follow, and we will reclaim these systems." Nathan Brooks nodded, ready to lead his squadron. Lisa Morgan added, "We also protect civilians and trapped fleets. Humans fight to save lives, not just destroy the enemy." The human fleet executed the plan flawlessly. Strike teams moved in multiple directions, attacking enemy ships at the same time. Human fighters outmaneuvered faster swarm ships, disabling engines and weapons with precision. Larger vessels fired concentrated energy pulses, breaking enemy shields. The swarm could not respond effectively, and alien observers were stunned. Humans were unpredictable, relentless, and precise. Nathan led a squadron directly into the swarm's command center. The enemy focused fire on them, expecting destruction. Yet humans anticipated every move, splitting into smaller units, attacking critical nodes and disabling communication lines. The command center collapsed, and the swarm's coordination failed. Alien commanders could not believe it. Humans had destroyed the heart of the enemy in minutes. Ethan Cole watched the results on the holographic display. Systems previously lost were now free. Civilian colonies were saved, and alien fleets regained confidence. Humans had not only defeated enemy forces but also taught alien allies how to act decisively and courageously. Laura Benson smiled. "Humans fight differently. The galaxy will remember today." Alien leaders whispered among themselves. Counselor Thin admitted, "We asked for help, but they changed the battle. Humans do not just support, they lead. They teach us what war can be." Commander Zelara added quietly, "We cannot hope to match them. We can only follow and learn." Fear and awe filled the council chamber. Humans were not just another species. They were a force unlike any other. Nathan Brooks and his squadron cleared remaining enemy pockets, rescuing civilians and disabled ships. Lisa Morgan coordinated firepower and shields perfectly. The humans moved as one organism, every member aware of their role, every action synchronized. Alien fleets followed, learning from every move. Ethan Cole reflected on the human fleet's achievements. They had moved faster than any enemy expected, adapted to new conditions, protected civilians, and demonstrated unmatched skill. Humans were not reckless. They were disciplined, intelligent, and relentless. The swarm had underestimated them, and now the galaxy saw what humans could do. As night fell across distant planets, alien worlds looked to humans with hope. Humans had arrived quietly, without fanfare, but their actions spoke louder than any message. They had not only defeated enemy forces, they had changed the perception of what a species could do in war. Ethan Cole knew the mission was far from over. The swarm still existed, and humans would need to continue striking, adapting, and leading. But for the first time, the galaxy had hope. Nathan Brooks, watching the stars from his cockpit, whispered to his team, "We are just getting started. The swarm will learn soon enough that humans do not fight like any other species. We are unstoppable when we act together." Lisa Morgan smiled over the communication link. "And we will keep moving, striking, and protecting. Humans fight to survive and to save others. That is our strength." Alien observers could only watch, stunned and silent. Humans were unpredictable, efficient, and deadly, yet always controlled. They acted with courage and intelligence, saving lives while defeating the enemy. The galaxy had never seen a species like this. Humans had not only joined the war, they had changed it forever. And so, as the human fleet advanced, the swarm retreated, reorganized, and struggled to understand what had happened. Humans had demonstrated shock and awe, not through sheer numbers, but through skill, strategy, and the determination to protect others. The galaxy learned a lesson. Humans were not just warriors. They were a force that could not be ignored, and their presence would forever alter the balance of power. The human fleet had pushed the enemy swarm to the farthest edges of controlled space. Systems that had once been lost were now safe, and alien fleets slowly regained confidence. Alien leaders who had doubted humanity now watched in awe as humans continued to move with calm precision, saving lives and defeating enemies simultaneously. Ethan Cole observed the progress from the flagship, his eyes scanning the holographic display of the galaxy. Every movement was coordinated, every strike deliberate. Captain Nathan Brooks led the front lines with unwavering focus. His squadron darted through enemy territory, disabling remaining ships and clearing sectors that had been trapped by the swarm. His fighters moved as one, almost instinctively, responding to threats before they fully appeared. Commander Lisa Morgan coordinated the heavy vessels behind them, directing firepower to maximize effectiveness and protect Allied fleets. Alien officers could only watch, trying to understand how humans operated with such speed, intelligence, and control. Ethan and Laura Benson coordinated the fleet's operations from the bridge, ensuring that all civilians were safe, all supplies were delivered, and all ships were repaired and ready. Humans acted with discipline and care, saving lives wherever possible. The alien allies were amazed. "Humans do not just fight," one counselor whispered. "They protect, adapt, and teach. We have never seen anything like this." As the fleet advanced, the swarm attempted a final desperate attack. A massive wave of enemy ships moved toward a critical civilian hub. Humans responded immediately. Nathan Brooks split his squadron to intercept, weaving through enemy fire and disabling weapons with precision. Lisa Morgan redirected shields and fired concentrated energy pulses at key targets. Ethan Cole coordinated strikes across multiple sectors, ensuring maximum efficiency. Within minutes, the attack was neutralized, and the civilian hub remained unharmed. Alien leaders stared in disbelief. Humans had not only defeated the enemy, they had done so while protecting innocent lives. In the aftermath, human engineers worked to stabilize the systems humans had saved. Disabled ships were repaired, supply lines restored, and communication networks rebuilt. Laura Benson oversaw these operations, ensuring that humans acted with discipline and care. Alien fleets assisted, learning from human methods. It became clear that humans were not only warriors, they were teachers, leaders, and protectors. Nathan Brooks led a final sweep of enemy territory. Small squads moved quickly, clearing isolated pockets of the swarm. Humans used speed, precision, and creativity to outmaneuver the remaining forces. Alien allies followed their lead, slowly understanding human tactics and learning from their adaptability. Ethan Cole watched from the flagship as humans moved like a single organism, every member aware of their role, every action coordinated. The galaxy had never seen a force like this. At the alien capital, Counselor Thin and Commander Zelara gathered with other leaders. They discussed the human intervention with a mixture of fear and awe. "We asked for help," Thin admitted, "but humans have done more than we imagined. They have changed the war and they have changed us. We have never seen a species fight like this." Zelara nodded. "They are not just warriors. They are a force that saves, adapts, and inspires. We can only hope to follow their example." Ethan Cole reflected on humanity's role in the conflict. Humans had risked everything, moving into an unknown war far beyond their previous experience. They had adapted faster than any other species, fought with intelligence and courage, and protected civilians and allies. Humans had demonstrated that they were not only capable of surviving, they were capable of excelling, even against impossible odds. Nathan Brooks, after the final sweep, returned to the flagship. He looked at the stars stretching endlessly ahead. "We did it," he said quietly. "The swarm is gone and countless lives are saved. But the galaxy will never see humans the same way again." Lisa Morgan smiled over the communication link. "They will remember. Humans fight differently, and that difference makes all the difference." Ethan Cole addressed the human fleet. "We have completed our mission," he said. "The enemy is defeated, allies are safe, and the galaxy has learned that humans are not just another species. We came to protect, and we did. We fought with discipline, courage, and intelligence. Now we return home." Humans cheered quietly, aware of their accomplishments but knowing the work of preparation and vigilance never truly ends. As humans prepared to leave, alien fleets expressed their gratitude and amazement. Counselor Thin spoke directly to Ethan Cole. "We asked for support," he said. "What you have done is beyond support. Humans have delivered shock and awe. The galaxy will remember this day and your people will be spoken of for generations." Ethan nodded. "We did what we had to do. We fight to survive, to protect, and to save. That is humanity." Nathan Brooks reflected on the battles. He had faced impossible odds, but humans adapted, learned, and excelled. Every mission had been a test of speed, intelligence, and courage. Every victory had been earned through teamwork, strategy, and determination. The galaxy had underestimated humans, and now no one would ever make that mistake again. On the journey home, humans maintained discipline and efficiency. Ships repaired themselves, crews rested, and every system was monitored carefully. Ethan Cole and Laura Benson ensured that no detail was overlooked. Humans had demonstrated their strength, but they had also shown humility. They had not conquered, they had protected. They had not destroyed indiscriminately, they had saved. And that was what made humans unique in the galaxy. Alien worlds celebrated the humans' achievements. Civilian populations cheered as news spread of the rescue and victories. Alien fleets learned from human tactics, implementing new strategies and approaches to combat. The galaxy had been changed forever. Humans had arrived quietly, but their actions left an impact that could not be forgotten. As the human fleet approached Earth, Ethan Cole spoke to his officers. "We have done more than fight," he said. "We have shown the galaxy what humanity can do. We have saved lives, protected worlds, and led allies. But our work is never done. We must continue to learn, to prepare, and to protect." Laura Benson nodded. "Humans fight to survive, and we fight to protect others. That is our strength, and it will define our future." Nathan Brooks and Lisa Morgan looked at the stars, remembering every battle, every rescue, and every moment of triumph. Humans had faced an enemy they could not have imagined, adapted faster than expected, and defeated impossible odds. They had not sought glory, only survival and protection. Yet the galaxy would remember them as legends. Upon returning to Earth, humans received quiet recognition from their own governments. Celebrations were subdued, for humans did not seek praise. They had done what was necessary and their focus was always forward. Ethan Cole reflected on the journey. Humans had entered a war they did not fully understand, yet they had excelled, proving that when humanity acts, no obstacle is insurmountable. Alien leaders continued to speak of the humans with awe. Commander Zelara remarked, "We thought we were strong. We thought our fleets could fight anything. But humans have shown us that strength comes from courage, intelligence, and adaptability. We have learned more from them than we could have imagined." Counselor Thin agreed. Humans have not only saved us, they have taught us what it means to fight and to protect. The galaxy will never forget their presence. Nathan Brooks, observing Earth from orbit, whispered quietly, "We have done what we came to do, but humanity's story is just beginning. We will continue to grow, to protect, and to adapt. The galaxy has learned our name and we will live up to it." Lisa Morgan nodded. "And we will always fight to save others, no matter the cost. That is the way of humans." Ethan Cole looked at the stars one last time before returning to Earth. He knew the humans had left a lasting impact, not only on the galaxy but on themselves. Humans had faced impossible odds, acted decisively, and proven that when they fight to protect, adapt, and survive. The galaxy had been changed forever, and humans had shown that their strength was not in numbers or weapons alone, but in courage, intelligence, and determination. As Earth's orbit came into view, humans prepared to return to their home planet. Alien fleets watched silently, knowing they had witnessed something extraordinary. Humans had entered a war to help, but they had delivered so much more. They had delivered shock, awe, and hope. The galaxy would remember the humans not only as warriors, but as protectors, teachers, and legends. Ethan Cole and his team looked at Earth's blue oceans and green continents. "We are home," he said softly, but in his heart, he knew humanity's journey was far from over. The galaxy had seen what humans could do, and humans would continue to grow, learn, and protect. They had shown the galaxy that when humans fight, they do not just survive, they excel. And so humanity returned, quiet but triumphant. The stars remained above, and the galaxy was forever changed. Humans had entered the war to support, but they had delivered far more than anyone expected. They had delivered hope, strength, and a new understanding of what it meant to be a species capable of facing the impossible and succeeding. The galaxy had seen the humans, and it would never forget.